Hey guys, gang. Welcome to another amazing edition of the Chief NFT Strategist. How y'all doing today? Um, it's crazy. I'm having a lot of technical difficulty with the audio. One thing I used to do when I used to do my podcast that I used to do a lot of sound effects. And I want to do that, but for some reason I'm having a little problem with my system, but I'll figure it out. So, how y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. A little tired. So I got my coffee, and I'm not even a coffee person, but I gotta get going. Um, anyway, a couple people asked me why do I say gang. I'm not sure where I originally heard that concept from, but when I was creating the Bar Gang collection, one of the things that kind of stuck in my head is there was this song back in the 90s by all of these West Coast rappers, NWA, Digital Underground, um, MC Hammer. It was a bunch of people. I think it was called the West Coast Connection. And they did this song, We're All in the Same Game. And that just kind of sticks to me because one of the reasons why I like the bar so much is that the bar kind of unites all different types of people. And you can have rednecks, you can have people from the hood, you can have people from different countries. And when they get in that bar and you start drinking, you got a good bartender, everybody just kind of vibes together. And I like to say, like, we're all in the same game. Like they used to say, don't you know we got to put our hands together, make a change. We're all in the same game, gang. And seriously, I just think that one of the big missions for the bargain collection is to really say like we all have differences, but we all are similar, especially when we're in that bar environment. So that's why we say gang. So it's not a negative connotation. It actually means unity, coming together. So yeah. But anyway, I didn't talk a little bit too much. Today we're talking about leverage. And I like to think that this is one of my biggest strengths is creating systems and processes and putting myself in a situation where I have complete control over my time. Two quick stories. When I used to work back in Fannie Mae, my grandmother was sick. And I remember I used to have to ask my boss to leave early. And, not too long after that, my grandmother passed. And I told myself during that time, and just so you know, my grandma was always the one that kind of pushed me to get into entrepreneurship before I was ready. But I told myself at that particular time, I will never have to ask anyone for permission to leave a job early or to um, go if I needed to go. That's one. And then secondly, before I had my kids, I said, man, I never want to be in a situation where I miss any of their events. So I knew I had to control my schedules, control my time. And so I've always been a stickler in starting businesses to really focus on the fact that I got to leverage myself so I can be in control, as much control of my time as possible. And one of the best books that I read many years ago was The 4 Hour Work Week. If you haven't read that book, definitely pick it up. Some of the main points of that book is one, like, um, leverage your time, as I'm talking about. Um, Focus on the most important 20% and then offload the rest, the other 80% to others to do that work. Outsource. Really get people to help you. Get like a personal assistant or it's a lot of different things you could use to do that. And then the biggest thing, always work smarter, not harder. And so I like to think when I create businesses or concepts is that I'm always, I'm going to do the work first, right? Because I got to know how to do it. I got to set it up correctly. But then eventually I got to teach someone else to do that. And so I can kind of step back and kind of focus on growing the business or growing the concept or really making the project go. So one of the big things I suggest you do, and I incorporate in my business is I document first. Like I said, I do it and then I document and I go step by step. Step one, this is how you do this. Step two, this is how you do that. And it helps a lot because when you do bring someone in, you actually you're simplifying things to the point where you're making it easy for them. And what I've learned is you make it easy for them, and as they're doing the job and depending on their background and their passion of their education, their background, eventually they're going to suggest things to you to make the processes more efficient and make them better. But starting out, you want to simplify things and make it easy for them to learn. And I don't want to get too much into my leverage abilities, but I own a couple businesses. I own a home care business, and one of the highlights of that for me is that I run it from a different state, and a lot of the individuals that work for us work from different places all over. So how we do that, like we always have team meetings. We um, everyone has an accountability, like they have a certain thing that they work on. And then how I can make sure I manage that is that they report those things to me on a weekly basis. Um, and it just it one of the things you always want to do when you are building a business and you have others involved is you want to make them accountable, and you want to make them present the things that they're working on. And that actually helps for efficiency across the board. Um, because everyone gets to see what everyone else is working on. If some things is lagging, we kind of know. And then ultimately, as the leader, the person running the show, uh, it just keeps you accountable. And if you really think about it in the simplest format, in the simplest details, if there are 10 uh, things that need to happen for a business to be successful, right? And you know how to do every one of them, and you documented it and you hired someone um to do those things, and then everyone is reporting to you. Guess what, you get to a point where your main responsibility is running the business and everyone else is kind of doing the work and doing the day-to-day activities. So definitely, I've had success in my home care business. When I used to sell real estate, I got to a point where I had I think a 12 to 15 team. I had a team of different agents that worked under me, and I had admins that worked for me. And I actually did get to a point where my work week was about 4 hours. I know it may sound a little crazy, but uh, people used to ask me like, "How often do you work?" And I said, "Yeah, I work a couple hours a day. I make some sales calls, and then I'm at the bar or I'm chilling." And that was all cool and fine and dandy. The 4 hour work week was an amazing concept. I still love the book, but once the kids came into play and marriage and all of that type of stuff, and then I'd like to think I got a pretty I mean, I got a simple life, but it's pretty expensive, and working 4 hours wasn't making me enough money. Now, with that being said, I got a couple things that I'm building, and if things pop, I mean, it may be a potential that I get back to that point where I'm only working 4 hours a week. But yeah, that 4 hour work week, it only lasts for a little bit. I knew I had so much more I needed to do and more work that needed to happen. I started writing and doing podcasts and certain things like that. Now, that's work, but that's more like enjoyable work. And ultimately, that's what I want to get to. I want to get to a point where I'm doing more of that, but still, it's work. And 4 hours of it isn't enough at this point in my life. Maybe in a few years. But anyhow, I don't even want to stress too much about the 4 hour work week. I think if you read the book and understand the concept, you'll understand as you're building the business, you want to make sure you do those things. You leverage your time, you outsource, you work smarter, not harder. And you ultimately are going to be in a position where you're not like a glorified employee. There's so many people that start businesses, and then when it's all said and done, they're putting in more hours than they were when they were an actual employee, and they're not making the money. Now it takes time to get there, but that's the mindset when you do start a business, that you're going to have to put in a lot of work to build it and grow it and certain things like that. But understand, you always want to be in a position where you're trying to replace yourself so you can free yourself up to want to focus on the business and have more control over your time. So, um, yeah, definitely fully process that concept. You read that book. You can always like put comments and ask me questions specifically on how you can leverage your particular business. But I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you some ways like you can like leverage yourself. I'm gonna give you like a step by step. So if you do have like a pen and paper, or I say pen and paper, God, like this is 2022, and I'm talking about pen and paper. Well, some people write pen and paper, but take notes. Number one, I was gonna say document everything you do, write down step by step what you're doing on a daily basis. And I talked about that concept. Um, Number two, hire someone to do the 80% of the things that make you the least amount of money. Once again, you need to be focusing on the business. You need to be focusing on strategy and leading the team. And if you're so consumed with the day-to-day tasks, you're not being an effective leader. And ultimately, you have to um, be a leader, and you need to have others focus on the things that are hurting you, or not allowing you to be the most effective leader as you need to be. Um, with that, hire someone to do 80%. Use websites like Upwork to find quality team members. Upwork is upwork.com. That's upwork.com. I'll put that in the description. Is an amazing, amazing, amazing website. There's others like Fiverr, but for me, Upwork has been the guy. Upwork has been the concept and the website that has really helped me build teams and find amazing, talented individuals. So get an account, going Upwork. Trust me, guys, that is an amazing site. And the good thing is you're not limited to just people in the States. You actually have access to people worldwide. And that's important because like say you have like my home care business is in a certain area, right? If I'm hiring there, I'm limited to the people that can drive to that location or certain things like that. When I put things on Upwork, it actually gives me access to very talented people in specific areas, and it doesn't limit me to just the local uh, job talent. So definitely use Upwork. Number three, before you hire, set the rules for being a part of your team. One of the big things people forget when they start businesses, like you get so hype about starting it, you get so, I know how to do this, so I'm gonna do everything. But obviously, in order for you to leverage and grow, you got to have a team. And when you're bringing in people, it's not so much, hey, I'm gonna pay you to do this job. Like you gotta let them know what they're a part of. Like you have to really, really create an environment that they feel like one, they're a part of it, and then they understand the direction, they understand all these things. So you got to do the little things and write out job descriptions. You got to write out um, the purpose of this and that and how it connects to this and that. So, I mean, the good thing about the world we live in now, you got templates all over the internet. So, really, really take the time to uh, set the roadmap, really have job descriptions, really have not only what this particular job is going to do, but how it's going to report to this person and that person, and how it all ties together and the mission and all those type of things. Um, Something, I'm not necessarily the best at, but like you got to create a hiring policy. And once again, um, the good thing about the internet is that there's templates out there. There's companies that actually provide you templates, and you just got to plug in the specific information about your business, and you got your hiring policy. And then I was going to say, set the expectation to provide long-term reasons why they should work with you and be on the team. Once again, that's very important, because eventually someone else can potentially come along and offer the person more money. But if your why is defined, which is the next point, define your why. If your why is defined and people understand what they're really a part of, it's not going to be so easy for them to just be lured away because someone offers them a little bit more money. So now, I'm the NFT strategist, right? So you're probably thinking, yeah, this is a lot of business stuff. And don't get it twisted. I am going to be talking a little bit about a lot of different things, mainly with the NFT thing. Um, so just understand that point. But how does NFTs fit in all of this? I mean, the bottom line is the future. Um, there's a reason why so many businesses are investing in the metaverse, and Adidas, they're creating their own NFT collection. It's the future, right? And you want to make sure you're a part of the most effective marketing strategies moving forward. I think I said on one of the last shows that, like, whereas before, businesses felt like they needed a social media strategy, you need an NFT strategy because it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you are actually creating this strategy, it's going to put you in a situation where you are you're marketing as effectively as the times allow. So if NFTs are kind of how people are getting access to companies or concepts or products, and you have a strategy, then you're going to be prepared marketing wise, and that's only going to free you up to one, the marketing things are in place, which ultimately are going to allow you to make money, and then ultimately allow you to have the time to do the things that you need to do, whether that's work on your business or spend time with your family. So I got a couple points of one of the things I think and I suggest that you do is that whatever your business is, and once again, we're going to do shows, we're going to actually have specific businesses, and I'll be able to give my strategy on them and their particular business. For now, I'm just kind of giving you a generic overview. And I think depending on your business, like you should try to build some type of digital blueprint, whatever you're doing. Um, and once again, I'm speaking very generic. I'm not talking about a specific business. I'm just saying you need to try to figure out how to have a digital blueprint in whatever you're offering. Okay. And a couple points I want to point out is um, really, 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 if you're creating visual content or digital content in an NFT, really what you want to do, you want to build a foundation in terms of like, what is it going to be? Why is it? How is it going to fit into specifically your business? How is it going to fit into the metaverse, or how are people going to get to it? So building that foundation. Secondly, um, you want to create a community on Twitter and Discord. I don't know if you necessarily want to create a separate thing from what you're doing, but I think because NFT kind of has its own legs, you might want to create a separate thing that focuses on the NFT that you're creating. Uh, Camera, okay, okay. You want to build a community on Twitter and on Discord. Really start to get people involved and excited about the thing that you're building. And I think you should separate it. I think even if you got your own Twitter pages right now, Instagram, create you your separate Twitter, Discord specific to this NFT, based on whatever digital thing that you're creating for your business. Yeah, and I mentioned, create visuals around what you're doing. And then one thing about community building, one thing about uh, you know, putting, an NFT strategy in play is that you got to be patient. Um, you know, a lot of these concepts that have taken off, like once again, we talked about this before, they were hype trains and people got in, and some of them are doing really well, but a lot are not doing well. And as far as you and your particular business, like you got to understand when you're trying to build a community, a concept that's new or is coming up, it's going to take a little time for people to get excited about it. So don't look at it as something that you do and it's going to be instant results. Just understand it's going to take a little bit of time. So you got to be patient. Um, so yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I have for leveraging. Once again, I can go into a lot of different things about my personal experiences. Um, One of the things, for me in creating an NFT collection, um, I'm gonna have a specific show on that. Once again, why I created the Bar Gang collection and how that kind of fits into leveraging, right? Because if I create a collection and I build a community, I'm doing the things you said, and I'm actually marketing it effectively, and it's selling. It becomes another stream of income. It becomes um, residuals in a sense, that the money is coming through the door, and because I actually built the foundation and did it um, in advance, I've put myself in position to consistently make money around the clock. That's the same thing with the BBAT apparel, which this is a good pitch. Definitely make sure you go and get the unemployable shirt. Even if you're working, this is a good shirt to have. You know why? Because it is kind of it's putting that mindset, is helping you create that mentality that um yeah, I know I got a degree. I got all these years of experience, but I'm really, really focused on building my own. I'm really focused on ownership. And if I'm unemployable, that means I have to get out here and scrap and claw and fight and figure it out and learn and get mentors and invest and do all of these things. So unemployable represents a lot. Yeah. It represents a lot in terms of just building your brand, building your business, mentally getting prepared to go that route. Because one thing you'll learn about me over the course of a lot of shows, I'm just going to tell you over and over again, you have to build a business now and eventually in the future. And then, yeah, pitch the BBT apparel, bbtapparel.com, pick up the unemployable shirt, and then make sure you go out and you mint you a Bar Gang NFT collection. Um, the steps are in the description. Right now it's 0.085 ETH, which is about 320 bucks. It fluctuates, but it's not a lot for what we're building. And I'm excited because the last couple of days, my strategy in terms of how I'm going to really create value for the Bar Gang collection is really coming into fruition. um, we got a lot of exciting things coming. I'll share some on this show, but really, really, you got to be an owner to kind of be involved in what we're building. And we're building something big. Remember, BOTY, Bar Gang, the concepts are to create a more meaningful, purposeful bar experience. And we're coming to disrupt and improve the bar and restaurant industries. And pretty soon, the BOTY relaunch is coming. It's been 3 years since this app has been out, man. And the changes we've made and what we're bringing into this industry and into the world is fascinating, and Bar Gang is just an extension of that. So definitely go mint you one, man. Like you got to trust me on what we're building. Right now, that's not very expensive. I mean, you got $300 to buy some shoes and the coat and hat and clothes. Why not buy something that could potentially be a major investment opportunity, and you're being a part of a movement? So I think that's it, guys. I gotta fix my sound effects because I love my sound effects, man. Like, let me see if y'all can hear this. Y'all probably couldn't hear that. Yeah, probably see, it sucks because it really adds to what I'm saying. I'm not the best speaker, and so I need those sound effects. But anyway, this coffee actually kind of helped. I had a good time today. As soon as like I put out more and more shows, I start to really, really engage the subscribers and build up the audience and certain things like that. We're going to do live shows. Um, and pretty soon I'm going to have guests on as well. So this was pretty cool. Thank you all for your time. Please, please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, do all those good things. Tell people about the chief, the NFT strategist, like business. I love business. I love the bar, and I love the future. I feel like I'm a visionary, and I really want to help us all. Let's win. There's a saying in the crypto in the NFT space, WAGMI. We are wait. We're all going to make it, and now we are. So, cheers to you guys. Have an amazing day. I hope your New Year's going good, and I'm out. Peace.